Welcome to another episode of California Limelight. I'm your host, Tony Pomponio, and boy, do we have an action-packed show for you today. This episode, my co-host Will is out on an international adventure, scouting for incredible Californian talent across the globe. Right now, she's hanging out at the Calgary Stampede, a 10-day extravaganza filled with rodeo, midway games, concerts, and more. This year, over 1.3 million people attended the Calgary Stampede, and they also broke a Guinness World Record for serving over 17,000 pancakes in just 8 hours. Where in the heck would they find 17,000 pounds of pancake batter? I don't get it. Well, anyway, the Stampede showcases some of the best talent from around the world, and we are proud to put some of the Californian talent in the limelight. Coming up, we have a barrel racer and trick rider with Californian roots. And we will also be on the local scene featuring Chenza Puno, a talented singer and songwriter. Later in episodes, our newest segment called The Other Side of Hollywood. Will is dishing out the juiciest gossip in Tinseltown, and stay tuned as I will be keeping you in the loop of the top trends. I have word that Paul McCartney is set to release the final Beatles record later this year. That is all coming up. Now, let's get the show on the road and throw it to my co-host at the Stampede.
Thanks, Tony. I'm Will Step Wilson, and I'm excited to take you on the international scene to find Californian talent. And guess what? We found it right here at the greatest outdoor show on earth. We're joined here with MacDonald Thomas. So thank you so much for joining us. We're at the Calgary Stampede, but you've done a lot of trick riding all over the world, especially in California.
Yes. No, I spend, honestly, the last couple of years, the majority of my summer in California. I just was there pretty much all spring, and then I head back for the majority of my fall.
So, how did you get into trick riding? It's not a sport that everyone can do.
No, honestly, I started at a very young age. My mom used to produce Wild West shows actually here for the Calgary Stampede. And so she used to bring me when I was a little kid, and I used to come and watch them. And it's one thing that I kind of fell in love with. I think it was about the age of 4 when I started bugging them, and they're like, this is what you want to do of all things. So they put me in lessons at the age of 6 because Mom had a lot of connections from hiring the trick riders here, and then it kind of just snowballed from there.
So, trick riding is dangerous by nature. So, tell us about that kind of experience. Do you ever feel fearful, or do you get adrenaline? What's that like?
It's a little bit more of an adrenaline rush, I think, than anything. There is, especially when we get into more of some difficult tricks, that we kind of get a little bit more nervous because you just don't really want anything to happen. This year I've had a lot of little random injuries, which then kind of makes the job a lot tougher because then you're starting to fight your mental game on that because you're not feeling 100%, so you kind of have to use your body in a lot of different ways.
So what are some of your highlights and some of your... That's Chuck, everyone. How's your experience?
Yeah, exactly. You might think it's a cookie knowing him.
All right, so what are some of your highlights and some of the good and bad moments of your career so far?
This is probably one of my highlights. This year has been kind of like a highlight year. I've got to work some of my biggest bucket list rodeos. I did Reno, Nevada, St. Paul, Oregon, and then here at Calgary. I think the biggest one, though, is when I was 18, I got hired for the NFR, which is like the Super Bowl of rodeo, and I got to perform there for 10 years. So that was a big milestone in my career. So, it's just kind of I've been lucky, been very fortunate. Of course, injuries and then dealing with sore horses, trying to keep them in one piece when we go up and down the road all summer is one of the hardest things. And making sure they feel good, because if they don't feel good, it makes our job pretty tough.
Yeah, and traveling with horses, you gotta like, there's long drives and even long plane rides. So, what's your experience working with the horses and doing something like this?
Honestly, just a lot of driving and then figuring out what works best for each horse, maintenance-wise. Lots of chiropractic adjustments, lots of trips to the vet to make sure that they're feeling 100%, because like I said, if they don't feel good, we don't feel good.
Now, so for our Californian viewers, how can they catch you in the future?
I have a website. It's magicinmotions with an s.com, and my full schedule is on there. And I got a lot coming up. I have Ventura, California, Tehachapi, California, San Bernardino, Bakersfield, Marysville, California, and then the Cow Palace in San Francisco.
Excellent. All right. Well, catch Maddie when she's in California.
Wow, that was amazing. She can do handstands on a running horse. It takes a lot of skill, talent, and trust to pull of stunts like that. Thank you, Madison, for sharing your story with California Limelight. She performs in California throughout the year, so if you have a chance, check her out. Up next, we have Brittney Sporer, a professional barrel racer. She was born and raised in sunny Bakersfield, California. Brittney's taking the rodeo world by storm with her fierce skills and lightning-quick turns. Barrel racing is a rodeo event in which a horse and rider attempt to run a cloverleaf pattern around preset barrels in the fastest time. Barrel racing is famous for quick turns, high speeds, and edge-of-your-seat excitement, like the other timed events. The winner of the barrel race is determined by thousandths of a second. The strategy and the micro details. The rider uses the inside hand to guide the horse around, through, and around the barrel turn, while the rider's leg securely supports the horse's rib cage to give them a precise focal point for the turn. Impressive. Let's hear from the barrel racer herself, Brittney Sporer.
So we're with Brittney. We're at the Calgary Stampede, and you're a barrel racer, which was pretty cool. We saw the epic shots that were going on. Tell us, how did you get involved with barrel racing?
I've been barrel racing since I was little. My family kind of just threw me into it, and we started doing like play days and gymkhanas and stuff. And then after college, I really got serious about it, and here we are.
And so you grew up in California, is that right? So tell us a little bit about that. Where did it all begin?
Yeah, so I have lived in California 28 years, and then I went to college in Fresno State. I was born and raised in Bakersfield. My parents are actually still there, so they were watching me compete here, which is really cool. I have all my family and a bunch of friends still in California.
Very cool. Now, of course, barrel racing comes with some risks, right? It's by its very nature is dangerous. So, what are some of your highlights, and what are some of the hardest times of your career?
The hardest times would be like the ground conditions. If we don't have the best ground, our horses can get hurt, and without our horse, we're not competing. Our horses are what gets us here, and they're our everything. So we have to make sure we have good, safe conditions in order to run.
And you also have long commute times too, both by, I'm sure, car and planes. So how is that like, commuting the horses to do all sorts of competitions everywhere?
It's really hard on them to drive. I try to unload anywhere from every 4 to 6 to 8 hours to get them off the trailer and to walk around and stuff, because you don't want them on the horse trailer for too long. We have custom floors in our horse trailers, so it makes it a little softer, a little easier on them. So yeah.
Right, that works. So what does an average day look for you getting ready for barrel racing? What does it take to get your horse and you ready to be out there today?
It's a lot of work. Your horse has to be at the top of their game with every rodeo and every competition. So I mean, it's a lot of the behind the scenes, a lot of practices during the week, and lots of probably 5-6 days a week of riding.
Awesome. Well, if anyone wants to check you out or see where you're going to be next, how can they find that out?
I have an Instagram. It's Brittney Sporer. And then I also have a Facebook page. It's Brittney Sporer Professional Barrel Racer.
Awesome. All right. Check it out.
Thank you, Will, Madison, and Brittney for the international spotlight. And now let's set our sights on the local scene in Palm Springs, where Chenza Puno's soulful tunes are making waves. This young talent has been captivating audiences since she was just 4 years old. Her music is like a magical mix of country, rock, pop, soul, and blues. A fun fact, Chenza's mom, Christine Love, is also a singer and made an appearance on our series earlier, and Chenza's dad is none other than the fabulous Filipino soul icon, Rico J. Puno. Talk about a musical genes. I am honored to present Chenza Puno.
As a snowflake cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mama cries, 'cause if there's one thing that she don't need, is another little hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto. People, don't you understand? A child needs a helping hand, or he'll gonna be an angry old man someday. Take a look at you and me. Are we too blind to see? Do we simply turn our heads and look the other way? Well, the world turns, and a hungry little boy with a runny nose plays in the street as the cold wind blows in the ghetto. And his hunger burns, so he starts to roam the streets at night, and he learns how to steal, and he learns how to fight in the ghetto. Then one night in desperation, a young man breaks away. He buys a gun, steals a car, and he tries to run, but he don't get far, and his mama cries. On a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And as a young man dies, as the crowd gathers round, an angry young man face down, straight to the corner's head in the ghetto. And his mama cries. In the ghetto.
So we just listened to your performance, and it was absolutely beautiful. So how did you get into singing?
Well, I've been singing since I was 4 years old, and it's been something I've always enjoyed doing. I love performing live, and my parents are both professional singers, so it's just been surrounded in my family for as long as I can remember, and that's pretty much how I got my start.
And what are some significant milestones over the years while you were developing your singing career that led you to where you are today?
Oh, there's so many. I think every performance that I have is always a big milestone, because it's always getting me a step closer to something bigger, and you know, that's where I can meet so many people. And I think just people I've worked with over the years have definitely taught me a lot of things. So it's definitely led me to the milestones of like working with musicians I've always dreamed of working with, and just everybody that I've encountered has just been a really good teaching experience for me.
And you just released a tribute for Elvis Presley, and it's called Where Could I Go?
Yes, so I just released it in January. I actually released it on the week of his birthday on January 8th. So I released it on January 6th, and it's a gospel song of Elvis Presley, and I wanted to do a gospel song of his because it really just made a strong impact on me the first time I heard it, and I discovered it on his 1968 comeback special for the first time, and immediately when I saw it, I was like, you know, I think I need to do this song, and I think a lot of Elvis fans don't know that Elvis really loves singing gospel music, so this is something that I did, and I'm very, very happy I got to do it, and it's finally out.
And it's when I face the chilling hand of death, now won't you tell me where could I go but to the Lord?
As much as I love his hits like Heartbreak Hotel and The Ghetto, everything, it's just that when I first heard it, I just felt like Elvis just loved singing that, and I want people to see that side of him. And I just thought it was it changed my life when I heard it, and it's just something. Even when you see him perform it live in his concerts, if you see his documentaries, he just sings it with so much passion, and I want people to see that. And if I could be a help to that, that would be amazing. So I hope if people hear it, they can discover the side of Elvis for sure.
How can anyone find your schedule, where you're going to be, or listen to your music?
Yes, so you can go to my website. It's chenzamusic.com. It's CHENZA music.com, and all my schedules for shows are there, and you can catch me singing all over the Coachella Valley and also out of state, Las Vegas, anywhere. It's all going to be there, so I hope to see you guys there. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Will. Thank you.
Wow, she has an incredible voice. Thank you, Chenza. Up next is the debut of California Limelight's new segment, The Other Side of Hollywood, where my co-host does a deep dive into the heart of Hollywood. Will is about to reveal the secrets, scandals, and star-studded stories that keep us all hooked on the glitz and glamour of the movie biz. Take it away, Will.
Stemming from the fascination of Hollywood gossip, we're infusing an investigative look at your favorite celebrities and the scandals. So basically, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is The Other Side of Hollywood. Up first, we're taking a reflective look at the Depp-Heard defamation trial. Johnny Depp is in the process of revitalizing his career after the highly publicized trial last year. The actor moved to Europe and finished filming his new movie, Jean du Barry, which debuted earlier this year. He also is set to begin directing a film in Budapest this fall called Maudie, starring Al Pacino. All in all, Depp is working to restore his reputation and the relationships that were compromised by Heard's false accusations. The trial not only brought attention to Depp's personal life, but also initiated important discussions about men's rights and the preconceived notions of domestic abuse dynamics. The juicy defamation trial aired the couple's dirty laundry for all to see, and in the most unflattering ways possible, especially for Amber Heard. Heard was found guilty of actual malice, meaning she was aware of the damaging effects of false and reckless accusations that she made. Now, this case, of course, is complex, but I would argue that Heard didn't just tarnish Depp's reputation, but also hindered women's rights efforts. Specifically, Heard rode on the coattails of the Me Too movement's popularity during her divorce proceedings with Johnny Depp. This sparked controversy as it was widely believed she did this to gain status and publicity despite not being a victim herself. Additionally, Heard's promised donation of $7 million from her divorce settlement was not fulfilled as expected, raising questions about the sincerity of her actions and intentions.
Sitting here today, Ms. Heard, you still haven't donated the $7 million divorce settlement to charity. Isn't that right?
Incorrect. I pledged the entirety of the settlement, $7 million to charity, and I intend to fulfill those obligations.
Ms. Heard, that's not my question.
Throughout the trial, evidence was presented that challenged Heard's prevailing narrative. The evidence that emerged suggested that Depp had indeed experienced mind-boggling abuse from his former partner. This revelation challenged the prevailing belief that domestic abuse is solely perpetrated by men against women. Depp's case shed light on the disparity and emphasized the need for greater support and resources for male victims. But the silver lining here is that in Depp's case, it played a vital role in reshaping our understanding of society biases. We wish Depp all the best going forward. Now here's some juicy gossip going around about Khalees and Bill Murray. Rumor has it that the Milkshake singer and the Ghostbusters star might be an item. But hold on, because Khalees isn't fanning the flames any further. In fact, she recently responded to a fan's comment on her latest Instagram post, making it clear that she won't be addressing those dating rumors. Apparently, there had been multiple sightings of Khalees, who's 43, and Murray, who's 72, out and about together in public. Murray had been spotted in many of her shows, just like a fan himself. It seems like they had been spending quite a lot of time together. To be fair, Murray had been recently divorced, and more tragically, Khalees' husband, Mike Mora, passed away in March of 2022 from stage 4 cancer. So there's something to be said about companionship after hard times. But for now, Khalees is being tight-lipped about the whole situation, and she's not adding any fuel to the fire and wants to keep things private. So it looks like we'll have to wait and see if there's any truth about those dating rumors. And that's it for The Other Side of Hollywood. Hey everyone, today is a special day as we celebrate our incredible support that we received from our amazing sponsor, Fiesta Ford and Quick Lane. They've been incredibly generous to give away not just one, but 2 fantastic Bluetooth speakers for our viewers.
That's right. We've got 2 awesome Ford Bluetooth speakers. We want to give them to 2 lucky winners in our drawing on September 4th, Labor Day.
To enter the drawing and to qualify, simply subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, hit that like button down below, and comment which country you're cheering us on from.
This giveaway is open to anyone around the world, not just within the Coachella Valley or the U.S. We want to share the joy with all our viewers worldwide.
The drawing closes on August 30th, and be sure to mark your calendars for September 4th, Labor Day, when we'll announce the 2 lucky winners. But remember to subscribe, like our video, and comment down below which country you're from to qualify. Once again, we want to say a huge thank you to Fiesta Ford and Quick Lane for their incredible support and generosity. Without them, California Limelight and this giveaway wouldn't have been possible. Check them out in Indio, California, off the I-10.
Until then, stay tuned for more amazing content, and thank you all for being part of our incredible journey. Good luck, everyone. Get ready for a jaw-dropping announcement that Beatles fans around the world thought they'd never hear. The Fabulous Four is about to drop a brand new song featuring none other than John Lennon himself, with a little help from artificial intelligence. Hold on to your hats, because this revelation comes straight from the lips of legendary Paul McCartney, who spilled the beans during an interview with BBC Radio 4. Can you believe it? The band that revolutionized music and left an indelible mark on the 20th century is set to release what McCartney calls the final Beatles record this year. How did they manage such a feat, you ask? They utilized cutting-edge technology to extract Lennon's vocals from an old demo recording. It's like a musical resurrection. But that's not all. The mysterious new track will mark the Beatles' first original material since unveiling of Free as a Bird and Real Love back in 1955 and 1966.
I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you. I know it's true. It's all because of you. And if I make it through, it's all because of you.
Movie director Peter Jackson, known for his groundbreaking work in the film industry, he has taken the reins and employed cutting-edge tools to restore the aged audio tracks, potentially transforming it into a much improved sound. Jackson is no stranger to pushing boundaries, having pioneered audiovisual AI technology in his mesmerizing 8-hour Get Back TV series. This remarkable production devolved into the making of the iconic Let It Be album and showcased the Beatles' legendary final performance atop Apple Corp headquarters in London, West End, January 1969. So hang on tight and keep your ears perked for this monumental musical event. The Beatles are back, and with the help of AI and Peter Jackson's wizardry, we're about to witness the resurrection of John Lennon's voice in a groundbreaking new song. The Fabulous Four legacy continues, captive and astound, proving that their influence knows no boundaries. Thank you to Frank Wilson for suggesting that incredible top trend. If you have trends or Hollywood gossip you'd like for us to explore on California Limelight, email us at californialimlightps@gmail.com.
Thanks so much for joining us, and of course, thank you so much to Fiesta Ford and Quick Lane for making this all happen and to showcase amazing community talent. I'm Will Wilson, and see you next time.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Tony Pomponio. See you next time, folks.